Alan Horowitz.
Here.
Russ Wynn.
Here.
All right. Sir, we are here to take comments.
Okay. My name is Alex Grant, and I used to be on the original incorporation committee. That's when we became, before we became a city. Now, the only point I'm making, I don't have too many problems, but there's one thing that concerns me is on the 30-day ordinance. I think this is from my own, why we did that. We thought that there would be a necessary time between when the ordinance is finally passed and it's actually enacted. So you have a certain period of time, and we decided on the 30 days. And that's, and I don't know, you want to shorten that to a, or you don't, I take it you don't want to lengthen it, but you may want to shorten that. And I'm concerned that we need to have enough time for everybody in the city to understand that change in ordinance. And that's why I think that, you know, the 30, if you shorten it to 2 weeks, it's only another 2 weeks. It's not gonna, you know, 2 weeks here or there is not gonna be a big deal. So that's why I support the 30-day notice. The other thing is a number of people, including myself, are not exactly computer savvy. And if you put everything on the, I know the big deal is now everything to do electronically. But I come from a time when I like paper and pencil. Sorry about that. I'm of the old school. And to have it in the paper, and I would recommend, especially in the Bonita Banner, because everybody gets that. They may not get the Fort Myers and Naples newspaper. But if you're going to publish something, make sure it's in the Banner, because everybody eventually gets the Banner. And that's the best way to publish things. And the same thing, what I would suggest with, you know, future ordinance or something like that, so everybody in town knows, not only goes into the computer and gets all their information from the computers, but also from the printed press. So I'm a great believer in the, what is it, the Fourth Estate or the Fifth Estate or whatever. Fourth Estate. So I'm a Fourth Estate person. So that's what I was wondering about the publication. The other thing that I just noticed, and on this capital improvement program, now, there's, I mean, I just feel maybe I'm mistaken, but I always felt that you need to know exactly, more or less, what the city council is doing to have some sort of a plan for major expense projects. As example, what is it, stormwater drainage as an example. So you have that, at least a rough figure can't be 100% accurate, I realize that. But at least you know more or less what you're going to be having to fund, let's say 5 years down the road or so. So I do think that that's a good idea to have in there. Otherwise than that, I have no problems.
They do have that.
They do that, but I think, I'm just, for what it's worth, I think the capital improvement project needs to be, I'm not saying it's not going to be adhered through 100%. I realize that. I used to be on the city council here, so, you know, things change. But at least we have a general idea of what our big ticket items will be, and then plan accordingly.
Correct.
So that's my only problem. Otherwise than that, I have nothing else to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody
So that's my 2 cents. Or maybe in this.
It's worth more than that. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to address it.
Thank you, yes. Is there someone else that would like to address the council? Chair, the council. That's
Please?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Seeing no one else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Well, this lady's here.
Oh,
She's only here to observe.
she doesn't
Oh.
want to speak.
Oh, I see, okay.
Observe at this point.
You know, all I can point out, and
Yes,
Grant's already left, is just
Yes.
the 30-day issue. Certainly, there are times where that will be appropriate to give people opportunities to make changes, and the charter currently reads that you could, there's nothing to prevent the council from saying something like a fertilizer ban. We'll do it, you know, next season, or it'll sunset. There's nothing to prevent them from doing that. Where we've found that this has been a problem has been particularly with innovative land use issues, maybe things that are cropping up very quickly, that there's a process, maybe takes months to get into place, and we also want to do what we've done, adopt a moratorium while we try to figure that out. Well, it takes 60 days to do the moratorium, and then another 90 days. By that time, all the things you were concerned about trying to put the brakes on so you could look at have all gone through. So that's, you know, where do you draw that line? And so with this and with the CIP issue, to me, it's about maximum flexibility. The CIP change, that statutorily we're required to follow. Previously, we had a CIP, and whether it was funded or not, you put in there, this is our wish list for the next 5 years. Changes in Chapter 163 recently have said, you can't put anything in your CIP unless you funded it. So now, not only is it required by law, but it's also required that you know those projects are going to be funded. The difference really with this is we don't have to have it at budget time, although we do have it generally at budget time. We have sometimes been evolving our budget based on what happens with the setting of the millage, and so we'll have our CIP for this year in the next month or so. You know, so that'll come up after we realize we have the stormwater fee now. So
yeah.
it made sense to have that flexibility to build that in. We just have to have it done by the end of the year, which, by the way, last year we had a real problem getting it adopted and then having it go effective the next year because of the 30-day clock. So those are just some of the issues that I think hopefully we'll get passed and cleared up.
All right.
Motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Very good. Glad you can make it.
I'm glad I could be here.
Yes.
Believe it is.
That's what I'm saying.